It's the Brain and Moham Show. It's the Brain and Moham Show. Brain and Moham Show. It's the Brain and Moham Show.
What's going on, everyone? This is the Brain and Moham Show. I am Muhammad El-Darwish.
I am Brain Mountain.
And with us is Parker.
What's going on, guys? Brain, Moham, thanks for having me on the show. Glad to be
Yes,
here.
this is Parker Millar.
That's my name, yeah. It's
And
spelled weird, but that's the way you say it.
And he is, what are you exactly in terms of this project?
I am Chairman, CEO, and Sorcerer Supreme of Galactic North Records. We are based out of East Coast, USA. It's really cool to say you're from two places, because really, like, I started this record label in like 2010. We started talking about this, and I have a 3-phase plan, but that's for the shareholders.
Yeah, no, so I've heard about it for a long time. I've heard
Yeah.
the name Galactic North.
Galactic North Records, that's right. Galactic North is where you're headed. Basically, I started a band, Fearless Freaks, out of New Bern, North Carolina in 2014. And you want to have, in this day and age, a record label that is what's behind your band to kind of formalize your material and create a product, for lack of a better word. I hate all of this marketing commodity fetish talk, because music and art are so much more than that. But at the same time, like, I like eating food, and I like having a place to live, and I like, you know, at least having some modicum of stability as a human being. Because let's be completely honest here, like, the fact that you're alive means that you're entitled to continue living. Like, whether or not you have money or connections or, you know how to farm even. Like, nobody knows how to make food. We all just depend on this supply chain to get us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm digressing.
That's
the single
awesome,
is called
man.
Bad Alchemy. It's out now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I don't even know where to start with that, but you know what? I think I agree.
I mean, I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that cash money is of no actual value. The value is in the resources that exist, and you can trade that cash, which you get for trading labor, I suppose, or you just inherit it from somewhere. You can trade that for stuff, for resources.
Yeah, well,
So-
what is the intrinsic value of a piece of art? Can that really be speculated on, especially in this like the world where we've commodified music to the point where it's like a piece of candy, like an M&M. A single M&M
It's
is a
something
song that
you
takes
have
years to
on
create.
your headphones when you're on the treadmill working out, or it's something that you listen to on your drive to the job that you hate, that you go to anyway because you have obligations and things you have to fulfill, and we all understand that. I'm not faulting anybody.
How much do you spend a month on music? Probably more than the average person, I'm guessing.
Well, here's the thing.
Because you can count your own stuff if you're creating
Everything's deductible. So if you, as a musician, which I am, and which I have filed taxes to the IRS as
it. Sole proprietor?
sole proprietor, Galactic North Records.
Nice.
I mean, and my business partner Tom is the mix engineer wizard. Like, he's the reason this stuff sounds so good. Like, and he would hate it if I said that and he was here.
Yeah, we know him pretty well.
You know him pretty well, and it kind of goes without saying that, like, I'm just an idiot that, like, knows how to play guitar and, market the living dog shit out of something that's of value. So, what is the intrinsic value of art? What is the physical medium to which this piece of art is bound? Because that is, typically how you inherit the... Because what is a song worth? Those songs are free on the internet. I'm trying to make people pay for a digital download, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, and also, what about a hard-pressed vinyl?
I'll give it to you for free. Oh, a hard-pressed vinyl? Well, there's a very lengthy process that goes into producing vinyl, and there are costs that are incurred along the way. So for a run of about 1,000 records, it would cost roughly $1,300 for the entire process. I can just tell you the dollar amount and say, hey, that's what it's going to cost. And that can be the end of the conversation, because you could give me the amount of money, I could pay for it, get it done. Or you could say, well, what's that $1,300 actually doing? Because that's a very important question, and that involves a very long conversation about the entire process, from me finishing a song in your friend's basement and converting that into a digital file that I then send to someone, that someone then sends me a proposition of, hey, I can do A, B, C, and D, and I'll do A for this amount, and B for this amount, and C for this amount, and D for this amount. And you can put all of those amounts together and say, this is the entire process, and this is the final cost. And I could just say, oh, okay, cool, and give them my parents' credit card, and then there you go, I have vinyl in 6 months. That's what a person with access to resources could do. But a person without access to those resources has options, and there is a thing called DIY. Do it yourself, and there are tools that are available to you to get your music out there, and also to find an audience, find people that are willing to purchase that for the amount of money which you need, according to a breakdown of costs, to produce t-shirts and vinyl records. Because the digital download already exists. If you wanted to, you could download it, you could burn it to a CD, you could run it out to a tape deck.
So you're not going to be making money on the song itself, you're saying?
Well, you should be, right? And it would be awfully nice if people liked the song enough and wanted a digital hard copy enough to send you a donation to the amount of about $11 for a 2-song single. That doesn't sound, you know, outrageous. And it's a digital file that, as long as you keep it, you'll have access to it for forever. Put it on a hard drive, burn it to a CD.
Yeah.
People don't use CDs
Yeah,
anymore,
people
so
stream
stop.
their music.
Yeah.
People stream their music
For free.
So,
But they sometimes pay a streaming fee.
well, you pay a streaming fee to a company like Spotify, correct? That's what
Or
we're talking
YouTube
about?
Music or something.
The company, and this was Tom's idea that we went with, and I think it's a great idea. It's digital distribution through a company called DistroKid that puts your information on whatever streaming service there is. I don't want to have to learn how many different streaming services there are and how to interact with each one and how to upload my music to each one individually. I would rather just find a company like DistroKid
That just does it for you.
that just knows it already, and
Yeah.
I can say, hey, here's this yearly amount. It's what you want for this thing. We have 10 artists that we can sign as Galactic North to digital platforms, and Versatility from Greenville, North Carolina, their album Cause and Effect is one of the ones that's up there. I want to give a shout out to those guys, and you should definitely check out that record. It's really good. And they have a second one that is in the works, and we think that if this vinyl DIY experiment with the Bad Alchemy single is a success, which, you know, there are some early indications that, I mean, it just released yesterday. So, and we already have over 100 streams. There are stats that you can track through Bandcamp. People have listened to it 100 times, which I set it up so you get 3 free listens or something. I think that's in there somewhere. But
Right, and then if you gotta...
then you gotta buy it, man. Come on, like, I will let you. But honestly,
How much for a? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go, no, you first. I'm on your show.
How much for like a record for a actual vinyl record?
So for an actual vinyl record, the way I have it set up through our Bandcamp right now is the records cost $19 a piece. That's the breakdown. $19 gets you a 45, or no, it's actually going to be a 33 speed because the tracks are 6 minutes each. So you have a side A and a side B, and they're going to be on random colored vinyl. Like, nobody's going to know what they get. Everything's going to be individualized.
Yeah. So it's only $20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
cool.
only, it's $20 plus shipping.
Yeah, and they would also
19
get the
plus
digital.
shipping. And you also get the digital download. And there's a merch pack. I put the entire thing together for $42.
Okay.
You get a custom-made Bad Alchemy t-shirt, which the reason for the t-shirts is I can turn that around pretty quickly. and you'll
Yeah.
get one in the mail, so you know, hey, the record's coming.
All right.
Because the record is going to take at least 6 months to produce, and that's from the time I have the money to send to third party to begin
Yeah.
the process of. We get metal stampers, Muhammad. It's actually really interesting stuff. The first process for making any record is you have to produce a metal negative of a
Right, you
side
have
A
to
and
cut
side
it
B.
into
Yeah, I
metal.
think I heard the
Just
name of
stamp-
that. I forget the
It's
name.
pressed.
It's a stamper.
or-
It's a
or
metal stamper.
injected.
It's a.
got like a-
it's
it's got a-
mastering. But it's a physical master.
Yeah.
So you have your plates. And
Yeah, the
once-
plates.
Your plates.
That's right. I heard that.
And that's going to cost about $500 and some dollars.
Yeah, right. So I tried to make a record before. I tried to stamp a record, and I think I remember thinking, "Oh shoot, the minimum amount of records I have to make was like 300."
300.
And
is
I was
typical.
like,
And most
I'm going to
companies-
have a room full of records that I
Yeah.
can't sell because I'm
Yeah.
a failure. I'm going to feel like a failure.
Well, yeah, and we want to avoid that.
Right.
So with the pre-order, 42 people do this pre-order that
Yeah.
gets you the shirt and the vinyl. And I already have one person signed up. I have another person that's pre-ordered the vinyl. We had 2 sales today, which I'm really excited. Thanks, guys. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
hell yeah. You know what? We'll have a link in the description right now. You can click on the link. It'll open up everything you need to know. Go ahead.
But 42 people for $42. Like, it's weird that it works out that way. 42 people for $42 in shipping, which to the U.S. is $5. To
So
Canada,
it's $20
it's more, and
for
to international, it's more.
a record, a swag bag, T-shirt,
well,
and
the
digital.
T-shirts are $33. The T-shirts are separate. If
Yeah.
you would just want a T-shirt and
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought it
Brain
all
came over and
together.
checked out my process last night. I actually have
They're
one here
really
with
cool.
me.
They came
Yeah.
out really, really cool.
I'm doing experiments, and I brought this one with me to show you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that into the mic. I brought this one with me to show you guys. This is just.
Oh well, you
practice.
guys can't see this, but
You
that
guys
was
can't
pretty
see
cool.
this, but we can
put a
take some
picture
pictures
up.
and put them up.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. That's the back of it.
Ooh.
And I've been practicing with black T-shirts or any colored T-shirt.
Thank you very much.
And I think that's your shirt anyway.
It probably is.
I think it was
do
just
wear
left
pocket
over
t-shirts.
there. Yeah, he's a pocket tee guy. But yeah, not bringing
Probably one
that
of the
as a
times
pay
I
for play
randomly
kind of
stopped there
thing.
to
And
take a
Muhammad,
shower.
I'm sorry. I have a couple of them if you want to pick one from the Instagram of just the practice shirts I've been doing. The Salem, Massachusetts one came out particularly well.
Oh, I love me some Salem, Massachusetts. I've spent
also,
time there.
there's a Space Face shirt that came out really well. Like there's this band from Memphis, Tennessee. That's their shirt
Memphis.
was. Are you familiar with Adventure Time?
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen the final episode of Adventure Time?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, right in the feels, right? Right in the
Yeah,
millennial
it's
feels.
I cannot understand it for the life of me, but something about it just is very
Well,
haunting.
when you see Princess Marceline and Bubblegum kiss for the first time,
Yeah.
that's a really powerful.
Yeah, they were.
moment.
I shipped them. I figured that out. I sniffed that one out pretty
Yeah.
early on.
Well, yeah, but the fact that it
they
was
weren't making out all the
open
time,
and
were
in your
they?
face in a cartoon for
Yeah.
children for the first time that's a huge step forward for
I
just
think Steven Universe
normalizing-
might have done stuff like that before.
Yeah. What?
Steven Universe might have done
Well,
some
I
stuff
think
like
Steven
that.
Universe came out after Adventure Time, but the overlap was
Yeah.
I mean, it's a trend in media that I'm glad to see.
Yeah, and I'm watching a show right now called Euphoria, and I don't know if
How's
anyone
that?
knows any of that. I'm enjoying it.
Is
it's
it,
kind of there's
HBO Max?
it gets a little hammy, but yeah, it's HBO.
The superior streaming platform.
I like them.
You guys should reach out. We should get some sponsorships.
You know, he shit talked HBO so good in an episode. He said
Good.
that they'll fucking kill they're going to try to kill you for stealing cable like in 1990.
Well, you remember on the Daily Show when
yeah,
Jon
we'll
Stewart
have to play
used
that. We'll
always
have to
talk about
dig
Arby's?
that up out of the
Are
archive.
you guys familiar with that?
I did.
Jon Stewart
have
used
an
to always
account,
talk trash about Arby's on the Daily Show.
Yeah.
And that was because they gave him free sandwiches.
Wow.
Like, you can...
Bad press is good press.
Bad press is good press.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
It's true.
It's all publicity.
Because
As
everybody's
above,
gonna
so
see it.
below.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going to be thinking about it and talking about you.
So speaking of bad publicity, like I tied all of this in to famous people. That's kind of the theme of the single. Like Brian Jones drowned in a pool.
Right.
Is a ripoff of some song by some band that I met backstage because I had a press pass from my old job at the radio station. Shout outs to. I won't give the call letters or anything, but I've been in media before. I've developed this fine, silky radio voice that can make even the staunchest of Margaret Thatchers.
It is a
Wet
good
with
voice
desire.
over a microphone.
Yeah.
I've been
Smooth like
I've been
chocolate
told by complete strangers they walked up to me at a bar and like, who's got that voice? Who's gonna do you? You have a radio voice. Why are you not on the radio?
See, but I've
Your
been
voice is like chocolate and melted butter mixed together and poured over a cheesecake.
in
My
Nutella.
voice is naturally low, and people freak out when I sing because I sing higher.
Well,
When
yeah,
you sang
no,
that
you're-
song, Die Do Die,
Yeah.
Do Die.
Galactic Rotation by Brain Mountain is an album that needs to be mentioned.
Yeah, you know
That's
what? We
a
did an
very good
episode
record.
all about Brain's musical
Right,
journey.
It was like you interviewed me, and then there was another one I interviewed you.
yeah. It's
I
pretty.
gotta listen to those
So
again.
pretty much
They're
what I got,
probably-
we were hanging out yesterday.
Yes.
Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I love Brain's music. I'm a big fan of Brain Mountain, and I think part of the well, here's what I think. I think that the reason that more people don't know about Brain Mountain is simply because it hasn't been marketed.
Exactly. And I
Well,
don't know how to do that.
let me-
I don't know how to do it either.
Hold
It's
on
all in
just
my
a second,
Bandcamp.
guys, because I think I might have something that could solve your problems.
Are you about to pull out a Rolex watch?
You know, I'm a man in a sharkskin suit, and the reason a Rolex is because it doesn't tick.
They don't tick?
No, it's the mechanism. It's a continuous second hand that does not tick. That's what they patented. That's why Rolexes are Rolexes. That's how you can tell a real Rolex from a fake Rolex that you bought on Canal Street.
I prefer a digital watch.
I would
Actually, I
prefer no
no
watch.
watch at all, yeah.
No watch
I
at
don't
all.
like to be constrained on my wrist.
Yeah, no, it totally feels like shackles or something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Most of the time, there's a clock in my pocket.
I have hairy wrists.
I'm going to tell you, speaking of shackles, let me tell you guys a trick. Save all of your $1 bills, get paid entirely in cash. Just do this experiment.
So you don't have to make change when you go to the strip club?
Sure. Well, right. But
Boobies.
okay, whatever. Save all of your $1 bills. And if you'll notice, on each $1 bill, there's a letter code that signifies the mint that it came from.
Right.
They're coded A to L, from east to west, Boston A to San Francisco L. So if you save all of your ones and you can put them in a sequence of 12 from A to L, and you put those $12 away, and then every time you get one, you put another $12 away, eventually you'll have enough money to go to California. For a little while.
And then you won't have
For
to
a
be as
little-
cold as we are right now in Massachusetts.
You know
It
what?
was
Massachusetts
-3 up
has
here
a
the other
serene
night.
beauty all its own.
It's true, and also we're tougher up here because we have to deal with this
The spirit
shit.
of Massachusetts is the spirit of America.
The spirit of
The red
I
light.
think there'd be better drivers because of like the winter.
Are you the only other person that knows that song?
Horrible drivers.
No, I'm sure.
Well,
Anyone
I
who
mean,
loves Family
I've
Guy.
like busted that out in Massachusetts,
And they don't know it.
And they don't know
No,
it. And it's
no.
like,
Which song?
the spirit of Massachusetts is the
Spirit of America,
the spirit of
what's
the red
old and what's
white
new.
It sounds familiar,
It's red,
but I
white,
really
and blue,
don't know.
and then old and
Old
what's
and
new.
what's new,
Yeah,
and then
and then there's
okay,
it was.
well,
I
it's not
think
the
it was
best
a
song.
tourism
It's
jingle
fine.
for Massachusetts that was played in other states to get people to come to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people from Massachusetts
You
have
know,
probably
it
never
is a
heard
pretty
that.
good state. I kind of like it.
we
we
got
got smart
Boston.
people.
Are you the live free or die state? Is
we
that
also
what
got
this
dumb
is?
people. But, you know.
There's a lot of dumb people, but we do have like a lot of really good schools. Like
Yeah,
MIT is
that's what I'm
here,
saying,
and,
is we have
they
great-
do-
Yeah, but they're all
Stuff.
like right next to each other. Like
Yeah.
MIT,
Well, Western
Cambridge,
Mass has
Harvard.
its charm.
I went to
Western
Harvard
Mass
the other
is more
day. I can
chill.
officially say it, guys. I
went to Harvard.
I went to Harvard.
Oh, good.
I went to
Oh,
Harvard.
yeah, you were at
Did you
Newbury
solve
Comics?
anything on a chalkboard?
I walked from Newbury Comics to Newbury Comics.
Do you see anything cool on your way?
I saw a lot of cool stuff, man. There were a lot of parks, and there was a nice bridge with a river, and some fancy white people boats that they were about to put out and race at some point. And what
commons
else did
are
I
cool.
see?
You
I
walk
had
through the
this
commons.
great idea. I mean, maybe ahead of its time, but if you guys want to hear it, I'd love to just kind of
All right,
spitball
go
this with
for
you.
it.
Okay, so you're familiar with the platform OnlyFans, right? And what they do.
Right.
I'm not going to ask you any intimate details or anything. We're all familiar with OnlyFans. We'll just
Right.
say, what if it was Only Fights? What
Like,
if
just people fighting?
you follow a person and you send that person money specifically to like just pick fights with strangers on the streets of random cities?
Like if you give me 20 bucks, I'll punch that guy in the face.
Yeah, I mean you can have different tiers of benefits, and that could be the first one.
You
I
get
was
$5
thinking,
and I'll trip a baby.
I was thinking for $200, I set up a camera, I go up to a stranger, I insult their mother, like you know, like you pick the fight, you get them to hit you, and then they've initiated physical contact, and you're
Right. So then,
free
then
and
it's
clear.
self-defense at that point.
You know, it's just an idea. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I would be the one to do this.
That's how it should be.
I love how people talk to each other up here. Let me just say, fucking
How,
see the interactions and shit. It's great.
How would you describe the previous year, 2021?
Hot dog shit garbage.
How about you, Brain?
Really difficult.
Yeah.
I like what I said
But-
better. I think it's more poetic and to the point.
Well,
Yeah, it was a long-ass year.
Really difficult, but also a lot of growth.
A lot of growth.
Yeah.
Mentally and
Yeah.
personally. And
Those
Almost
challenges
transcendence. That's the thing about the
presented
age of
opportunities
Aquarius. It really
to
throws
grow.
your house
you
into
kind of have to
disarray.
go through some shit.
Yeah,
You
to
know,
understand
to
it.
learn
And there,
something.
There are people. Look, guys, I have an aspiration. I'm not a complicated man. I'm easy to keep happy as long as I got my millions of dollars in the bank and my solid gold house and my rocket car that makes business trips to the moon. Like, I don't think that's too much to ask for out of life. But all joking aside, I would love to have a live-in sushi chef. Can we all agree that that would be how you would know the measure of your success is you're woken up in the morning by Takashi with a nice tamago and country lobster
That
roll.
sounds good.
Yeah. And
I don't think Brain would like that as much,
No,
though.
I'm not a seafood guy. I'd like to wake up to like bacon.
Brain,
and
sushi isn't
cheeseburger.
seafood.
A private chef that cooks
let's-
exactly
I
what
know
you
there's
want.
there's
No, I'm not a seafood person either, and I understand this. Like,
I know there's like different sushis. It doesn't have to be fish. but-
sushis and sashimis, man. Like, we should go out. We should let's go.
You know what?
Let's go to a rotating
to be
sushi
quite
bar.
honest.
Have you been to Blue Water?
Yes, it is amazing.
Oh,
Can we
yeah.
just give a shout out to Blue Water Sushi here in
very
Ludlow,
good.
Massachusetts? Man, amazing. I'll go check them out at their one
I
location.
had an idea to make a video of trying to get Brain to try different fishes, try to make it taste good, and make him like it. But
I
see
have
how he
tried.
reacts.
The only thing that I kind of even remotely liked, but only for a few seconds, was a piece of salmon.
Salmon.
Hey,
out of a
not
salmon
that
salad.
So
we're
it's got
on,
a little bit of
not
a
that we're on
chicken
the
kind of,
apocalypse.
Right, and
fattiness.
it's the after fishy taste that I got. Like I can't
Yeah.
do the fishy taste.
It's a salty, briny, oceany taste.
Not that we're on the subject of like capitalism causing the apocalypse, but you mentioned fish and fishing.
Yeah.
Are you aware that since the mid 20th century, there are like fishing practices that dredge the deep ocean and pull out fish that like their ecosystems have never seen the light of day before, and it has completely wreaked havoc on an ocean that we know absolutely nothing about. And you go out deep sea fishing, and it's super fun. It's like awesome, and I'm not trying to ruin that for anybody. Just being out on the water on a boat, but thinking about the impact
right. You're
that,
just pulling all
that
these
humans have
things
had on this planet.
and putting every. Yeah.
Well, not even that, but just boats that burn gasoline,
Right.
and there are people
Noise-
that dump
noise
trash
pollution.
and stuff out there.
trash, oil.
Yeah.
Let's not
Plastic.
the plastic island in
That's-
the Pacific,
But
that-
the thing with plastic in the ocean is it breaks down into these tiny little things,
and it becomes part of the ocean.
it becomes
forever.
part of the food chain.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
fish
within
eat
it.
it.
Like even down to the microscopic, like bacteria will eat it, and then it grows up because it's that small. Like plastic, when it like quote unquote breaks down, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. It doesn't actually biodegrade or anything.
No.
So then,
Well-
so now the entire ecosystem is eating bacteria and food that has these microplastics.
Brain. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, forever and ever and ever until we all go build a colony on the moon. And I want a Tesla. Teslas are super cool.
Teslas are definitely fun.
Can
I've
we-
only
can we
ridden in
just
one. I've
shout
never
out-
driven
Shout out
one.
more brands here. Why
Shout out
not?
more brands and get
Shout out
free
Tesla
stuff.
stock.
Entitled millennials
So,
need
hey,
free stuff. Entitled
should we play your song?
millennials need free stuff.
Let's play a clip of your other song here.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I think that would be a good little thing to do here. Let's see if this.
This is legendary
I'm gonna
Hollywood
keep
film
my
producer
hand
Robin
on the
Evans.
volume here 'cause I
reads
don't know the
Storyteller
level.
by David Eric Grohl, former drummer of Nirvana and frontman of the Foo Fighters, whom I've never heard of. Neither of you.
Yeah, hold on a second. It doesn't appear to be playing yet. One.
Black magic. Voodoo interference.
Legendary
There we
Hollywood
go.
producer Robert Evans here, responsible for such films as The Godfather 1 and 2, Rosemary's Baby, and of course, Chinatown, starring my good friend Jack Nicholson. Jackie, baby, if you're listening, I'm here to tell you there is life after death, absolutely. There's also work after death. See you in 2 years. Before we go
I
any
hope that
further, this
isn't-
project
it
is
doesn't work
about
out
giving
that
back
way.
to the kids that have talent and want to bring magic to the world just like I did. All they need is someone to stick their Hollywood neck out and say, hey, the kid stays in the picture. Was I dead? Absolutely. Am I back? You better believe it. Am I gonna read this kid's book to you, cover to cover, in a silky smooth voice that would make even Margaret Thatcher cream a cotton white London undies? You bet your sweet ass I am. Just a quick note for any lawyers or bean counters that might be listening out there. This is a work of absolute fiction in no way affiliated with the estate of the late Robert Evans. Me. Now sit back, relax, and listen to a story about a young man who took life by the balls and didn't let go until he made it to the top. Am I talking about myself? You betcha. All jokes aside, the book I'm about to read to you was published by Day Street, an imprint of William Morrow, with whom I have absolutely no affiliation, nor do I have any affiliation with HarperCollins, the publisher. Though I'm sure they are fine folks with their nice office located at 195 Broadway in my hometown of New York, New York. The Storyteller by Dave Grohl, copyright 2021, all rights reserved, as read posthumously by the legendary Hollywood film producer Robert Evans, author of The Kid Stays in the Picture. The Storyteller, Tales of Life and Music by Dave Grohl, is read posthumously by legendary Hollywood film producer and former head of Paramount, Robert Evans, author of The Kid Stays in the Picture. You're welcome, Dave. Sometimes I forget that I've aged. My head and my heart seem to play this cruel trick on me, deceiving me with the false illusion of youth by greeting the world every day through the idealistic, mischievous eyes of a rebellious child, finding happiness and appreciation in the most basic, simple things. Though it only takes one quick look in the mirror to remind me that I am no longer that boy with a cheap guitar.
Yeah, so that's the
It's
rest
kind of
of
like
Dave's
raping
book.
my mind.
Good, it should. Here's the thing, Muhammad. You mentioned earlier about the
Like
intrinsic
that's not
value
a
of
that's
art. Moham. Oh God.
Cracked and shortened from years of microphone.
What the hell was I going to say?
Sorry.
I-
I was just like, I gotta turn this down a little. It's a cerebral.
It is. It's bad alchemy.
Yeah.
It's putting two unlike things together. And I've been reading Dave's book for like since it came out. I picked it up on Halloween in the airport in Raleigh, and I've been reading it on this crazy West Coast tour I've been on. And it's kind of like I'm seeing an analog for myself in this rich, famous person. And, you know, it would take a richer, more famous person to convince a rich, famous person that they should be helping people like me. I'm not saying specifically me. I'm saying that, like, if I were Dave Grohl or any other musician that's reached that level of fame that was attained in the 90s and has access to whatever the fuck they want, whenever the fuck they want it, I would be looking for people like me.
Right.
And I would be looking for people that make music that's cool.
You know what I think? I think we should get into some politics. What I was thinking was asking you about what you think, you know, just basically how's things going with, you know, Biden first year.
Well, first of all, it's not Donald Trump. Second of all, it's not Donald Trump. I mean, that's pretty much what you voted.
That's
like,
great.
He was
Beautiful.
he was campaigning, and people would be like, "Hey, Joe, you kind of suck about this," and he'd be like, "Well, fucking vote for Trump."
Yeah. Oh,
And he's
well,
right.
Go
He's
vote for the
fucking
other guy.
right,
Then.
but don't be an asshole about it. Like, fucking give me some actual. You know how hard it is
Yeah.
to file for unemployment now? It was so
Yeah,
fucking easy.
especially in Massachusetts, right?
Well, I'm not filing in Massachusetts because I'm not a resident of Massachusetts. I'm filing in my home state,
Okay.
which I can't look for work in because I'm not in because fucking Jesus Christ. If you realize that we are one of the only countries on the fucking planet, A, doesn't provide health care to its citizens
Yep.
through
Right.
the tax system, and B, more to my own and like our own, you know, there are no artist grants like there are in other countries.
Yeah,
Like
I do
Canada
believe
has
Canada
those.
has much better systems for that.
Let's talk about Australia, my friends.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how great it is to be an Australian and get a free fucking place to live in Pro Tools rig. And
Australia was in the news recently. You know, have
Yeah.
you heard? The tennis player Djokovic didn't want to take a vaccine and believes that if he holds a loaf of bread, he's weaker. And that's why he's like he is gluten free.
Well, they're a nation of criminals. They're crazy. And
Yeah.
everything on that fucking island was evolved to kill human beings.
Right, yeah.
That's exactly right. It's not a safe place to be.
That's the kind of people you get AC/DC. You get Mad Max. You get fucking
Mad Max.
Mel crazy ass Gibson.
Yeah, everyone loves all that stuff. Well, Mel Gibson in the prime,
Nicole Kidman,
before all that.
Hugh Jackman, and some really awesome people who I've gotten a chance to meet.
Yeah, what about Hemsworth?
Oh, yeah,
Australian
the Hemsworth
too?
guys. But
they're
let's
Australians.
hold on a second. Let's name some of your favorite actors, and I'll just go Hemsworth, Australian.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman,
Tom
Australian.
Holland, not Australian.
American, right? Tom Holland?
No, I think he's British, London.
Okay, well, he's probably English then.
Yeah.
They come here and they take our hard-earned jobs. You realize
them Australians
America
took my
accounts
job.
for like 100% of the entertainment output that worldwide. Like, people everywhere watch fucking American TV. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
it is our number
there's
one
also
export.
a pretty big market for the Indian, like the Bollywood stuff. But
well, that stuff's cool too.
Yeah.
But why is it called Bollywood?
because it's the second. It's the
Exactly.
play on the words of Hollywood.
That's the one thing we make is crazy religions like Mormonism and Scientology.
And ideologies through our entertainment and through other things.
Which is also an ideology.
Yeah.
And liquor, which is also an ideology.
Get sick quicker.
And 75% of the GDP of the United States is real estate, and 80% of statistics are made up. But that's likely true. Look it up. Google it yourself.
Just Google it. But after you click the link in the description,
GalacticNorthRecords.com.
and listen to Galactic North Records.
The single Bad Alchemy featuring
Yes.
Brian Jones Drowned in a Pool number 13 and legendary Hollywood film producer Robert Evans reads The Storyteller by David Eric Grohl.
So they're expecting like it to be so supposedly after one party takes control. Yeah, supposedly when one party takes control, on the off year, they get drubbed in the the off year elections in the House, and a lot of analysts are saying the Democrats will lose the House, the Senate's up in the air.
Let me say the thing you wanted me to say about
Sure.
Biden, because the beast has two heads, my friend. It's not that Democrats are good and Republicans are bad. Republicans are evil. Like, let's just get that. They are 100% Bohemian Grove, drinking blood out of a skull. Like,
Forgot about
I've met
Bohemian
some
Grove.
insane Christian Republicans whom I never want to make the acquaintance of ever again. And if I can get as far away from that ideology as I can, it would be great. But we make art, and we make art that everybody in the world looks at. But when it comes to a commercial property like Marvel or Disney or something like that, the people that they're trying to cast are all from Australia or Canada, or people that come to this country because we have the reputation. Like, you realize Neil Young drove across the border in a hearse on accident? I mean, he did it on purpose, but like, he lived in Los Angeles for years and established residence as a Canadian citizen down there. They let you do that.
How does
because
this tie in?
And he smoked pot all the time. All the time.
He was the man, and he's Democrat.
Well, yeah, because that used to mean something. It doesn't mean the same thing that it used to. None of those words do. My grandfather was a Democrat in the 50s when it was cool for them to hate black people and they all went to country clubs. That's
It
what
has
being a
changed a
Democrat
lot,
meant.
yes, and
You
so
know,
has
Strom Thurmond was
so
a
has
Democrat.
the Republican has
Republicans
what it
were
means,
the party of Lincoln.
right?
Like,
What it means to be a Republican has changed a lot, even since the
Yeah.
1950s, and being what a Democrat means is changed a lot since the 1950s.
what it means is if you're a conservative, you're fucking selfish, and because you conserve every single little thing instead of trying to properly allocate it.
Right.
And if you're
There's
liberal,
two sides
you're
to the
just-
coin. You don't want to be too much one, too much the other, of course, but like clearly the side that got co-opted by Trumpism and the alt-right and all this other stuff is it's more than just
Look,
being
I'm
conservative.
allowed to like marijuana and think guns are cool. Like, I don't want to own a gun or have a bunch of guns, but I mean, come on, man. Guns are probably the greatest thing that human beings have ever invented. It's changed the way the world works. And there may come a time one day where you need them as a tool to protect what you have and survive.
Yeah, that aligns with many moderate Democrats across the nation.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm pretty middle of the road when it comes to these things. It's just, I'm like hardcore middle of the road.
Hardcore.
Like, I am the most modest person you will meet
Right,
I defy you to fight
there's
a more
than
modest
just
person
the
than me.
two extremes. There's everything in between.
That
you know?
just saying that means you're not the most modest person.
Well,
that's what you're saying. I get it.
It's doublespeak.
Yeah,
It's
layered. You know what?
Yeah.
I had to be like a Neanderthal
communication.
and spell it out there.
You know, that's why they do the.
So
put an airport sound.
So are you particularly concerned about Biden in 2024, or is that not even a thought? You don't even give a crap. Like, you can tell me the truth.
I'm a 36-year-old man. You know what the first election I was aware of was? 2000, Gore, Bush, Florida.
Yeah.
Bullshit. His brother's the governor.
Yeah.
He's a part of this fucking dynasty that stretches back to
Cheney.
the guy that tried to assassinate
Yeah, what the hell
FDR.
happened in Florida?
Prescott
Cheney was
Bush
running the
tried to
world.
assassinate FDR. Do you,
know
guys
what they
know that?
You know what they said?
He went to a general named Smedley Butler to try to get the
Smedley.
Well,
Smedley
you know,
Butler to try to get
we
the
don't
military
want to. We
involved.
don't want to spread
And he was-
potential misinformation.
No, this is the truth, man. Like Smedley Butler went
because
to
misinformation's
Congress
a big problem.
and said, like, "Hey, these guys are trying to assassinate FDR." And
Yeah.
Prescott Bush, George W. Bush's grandfather, was one of these guys.
Yeah.
And he got off because H.W. was off fighting World War II.
Oh, yeah.
And was a patriot.
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
the
and
brain,
wasn't
the
in
brain,
Dallas.
the brain
He
and
was-
Mo,
he wasn't
the,
in Dallas.
the Brain and Moham show is for entertainment purposes only, folks.
Baba Booey,
enjoy,
Baba Booey, Baba
enjoy
Booey.
at your own risk.
George W. Bush here.
Baba
I
Booey,
just
Baba
want
Booey.
I just want a Baba Booey, and it would be prudent at this juncture to say that I was not in Dallas.
Okay, so
the
you know
day that
what?
John
I think
Kennedy
I
was
take
assassinated.
by what you're saying. I take it you're not that concerned.
My lawyer has advised me to sit at home and sip lemonade. The bar makes. She's a whiz with cold drinks at bar.
Sit back and watch it happen.
Sit back and just watch
So,
the fireworks.
what do you think about the January 6th? Can you just quickly tell
Well,
me
I
how
think
you feel about
they
it?
were just some good old boys out there doing no harm, trying to make a living, something since the day they were born.
They're just trying to make a living with that flagpole.
What's the song from the Dukes of
beating
Hazzard?
those heads of the police.
I bet that if you had just had movie theaters built overnight, like where all these fucking crazy right-wing people were, and you played Smokey and the Bandit, right, for all of them, they probably wouldn't have done what they did, because they're a bunch of fucking entitled morons. Like every single one of them. And Congressman from my district in North Carolina, Greg Murphy, is definitely on the side of the people who did that shit. Whether he admits it or not. He got in with the Trump vote.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I trolled him on Facebook.
You should definitely troll him. You should troll
Greg
all-
Murphy.
direct action
Yeah.
is the thing that gets the most response. And
Well, I think he posted a picture that was of a turd with a little Biden flag in it, and,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone just
That's how he
completely roasted the crap out of him.
Oh.
Literally every
And
comment
let's
was
go
negative.
Brandon.
Yeah, every single comment
they're all
was
the
like,
Let's Go Brandon.
no,
crowd.
every single comment was like, wow, someone actually went through the trouble of sticking this in an actual turd. What a fucking loser, you know?
Well, let me just go on the record here as saying I wish there was cyanide in the Kool-Aid so we wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. Because,
Jonestown.
fucking QAnon and all of that bullshit that these fucking rich people, for lack of a better
Some
term,
people are just
believe.
really, really crazy. Like it's almost unbelievable how crazy some of these
Isn't it
people are.
great when you have a conversation with someone and they give you a piece of information that just lets you know, oh, hey, red flag, this person is not sane.
Yeah,
You get a flat earther or you get somebody that believes something completely
I've
nonsensical.
been completely
And just after
flabbergasted
that,
by
it's
some
like,
people.
oh
Dude.
my
Like,
God.
it's like, wait, did you
You're not a
really
human.
just say that?
Did you?
Like,
Did a human being, like an example? My friend Pete that owns Brewery 99 in New Bern. Go Pete! Check out Brewery 99. He brews his own beer. It's fantastic. But Pete took me to Durham, and I met some of his friends before we went to see David Byrne. He told this one fella I was a musician, and the guy cornered me and wanted to talk to me about Pearl Jam. And he loves Pearl Jam so much. And, look, I like Pearl
I
Jam.
hate talking about music.
But anyway, this guy corners me for 45 minutes talking about Yellow Ledbetter means this and like dog. And like I followed them on tour and I've seen them all these times. And I went to
They
Hawaii
always
to
wanna
see
tell
Eddie
you
Vedder.
everything.
And Eddie gave me a guitar pick and it was this special moment and so on and so forth. And just you get the point. And then he looks me dead in the face and he says, yeah, but I don't like their politics and I don't believe in global warming. Right? What do you say to that? I just like Ned
Say that's
Flanders
dumb.
back into the bush. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot, dude.
I mostly
If
try
that's-
to get
unless
away
he
from
was like
people.
trolling me hard right there, it's like holy shit. And imagine that like times a million.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah, I can-
you are Eddie Vedder or Dave Grohl or somebody, and those are the fans you have to interact with every single day, and you know fucking half of them are these fucking January 6th at least supporters.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know,
Right, and there's,
an
like,
artist
there's
I
nothing you
liked,
can do
I
about
heard
it.
was there, and now no one likes him. And by the way, he's like broke and shit.
Oh, and I'd like to know how to buy tickets for Eddie Vedder's tour that he's going on. I'm just interested because they fought Ticketmaster in the 90s and they did this whole thing where they played their own shows and sold their own tickets. And then it looks like I'm still paying service fees for all this shit, which I don't even go to fucking concerts unless I'm working
They're
there.
really, really
Like,
expensive these days.
it's really fucking expensive.
So you're not overly concerned with Biden's weakness in 2024?
Against
I take it?
what?
Right. Against, let's say, hypothetically,
you
Donald
gonna
Trump
do?
a rehash.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Fuck Donald Trump, and if you're gonna vote for Donald Trump, fuck you. Can we just? Are we all on the same page
Yeah.
here? Fuck Donald Trump, and I wish they would replace him in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
With adult Macaulay Culkin.
Well, I
right?
saw
That's
I
brilliant.
saw Donald Trump the other day.
The only reason you saw him,
well,
you saw him like on the street. And
I
you
saw him
fucking
in-
spit in his
in
face.
video.
How has he not been drawn and quartered on
Well,
the Capitol
his
lawn?
eye is really puffy.
No,
He's
look,
looking really old and
Fuck
haggard.
him. I hope he dies yesterday.
Yeah.
But his list of crimes against our state
Yeah.
are miles long.
Right.
To the point that, like, if we don't do something, we're the biggest pussies in the history of Western society.
Right.
Anybody that studies any kind of history knows that if this was fucking Caligula,
So-
or if this was some
You
potentate that had been deposed, we draw and quarter those people.
We're
and we
on the
put
same-
an arm at every end of the country and a leg at, like...
Well, this is some of the
and put his
verbiage
head
they're
square
using.
in the middle on a
but
fucking post.
They're living in a bizarre world where what happened was the opposite of what happened, and everything.
Well,
that is
get
not
them out
true
of
is
it
true.
because they're fucking crazy and they're fucking my life up.
So yeah, me too. Well, So here's what I'm thinking. The January 6th, they had a elaborate plan to stop the will of the people from going into effect and to effectively end our democracy, and they admitted to it. Peter Navarro, which is one of Trump's close advisors at the time, he admitted to it, and I'd like to play the clip if that's all right with you.
Sure, go
it's
ahead.
a little bit on the long side. I'll pause it and then we'll discuss.
It's a little bit on the
I know
bullshit
you'll get
side.
time
I
to
know.
talk. You got to say that, and what I'm saying is that
I don't have to say anything, sir. I'm asking you. The question is,
Sure.
what was the plan itself and who was in on it?
Exactly, and I'm going to tell you that. The plan was simply this. We had over 100 congressmen and senators
The conspiracy
on Capitol
was-
Hill ready to implement the sweep. The sweep was simply that.
The sweep,
We were
the
going to
conspiracy.
challenge the results of the election in the 6 battleground states. They were Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, and basically these were the places where we believed that if the votes were sent back to those battleground states and looked at again, that there would be enough concern amongst the legislatures that most or all of those states would decertify the election. That would throw the election to the House of Representatives. And I would say to you here, Ari, that all of this, again,
Is a conspiracy to commit treason against the United States of America.
prescribed
Yeah.
by the
Yeah,
Constitution.
dude,
There is
fuck
a
this
provision
talking head.
To go
Who the fuck
rather
is this
than
guy?
to the
It's
Electoral
Peter Navarro,
College,
one
Okay.
of Trump's
to the
close
House of
advisors.
Representatives.
Why isn't he
And
hanging
all
by his
that's
neck?
required
I know. Well,
Why aren't
peace
all of
and
them?
the justice
calm on
system is
Capitol
There is no
doing
justice
its
system.
supposed
1 p.m.
There's no such thing as
Cruz,
justice.
Senator Ted
It
Cruz
doesn't
and
exist
Gosar,
unless we
a
make it exist.
representative, started
So I could probably pause that right there.
You can. I get the gist of it. I don't want to
yeah.
hear what that asshole has to say.
Well, next would be the part where the interviewer responds here.
Let's hear this talking head try to put his fucking.
Well, here's the response to that.
But again, that really, Peter, that brings us back.
But you
But
let him
that
talk
brings
so
us
much.
back to the
Listen.
same point,
Right there.
and this may be relevant, sir, in future elections, which is, don't you think somebody would have thought of this if the incumbent administration, through the president or the vice president, could just cancel the election outcome because he goes down to the Senate? Well, then a lot of people would try to stay in power. We have an entire system designed to thwart, and I want to say this
Fascism.
respectfully, but it's the truth, people like you. to stop people like you who think
Fascists.
that you can anoint yourself
Brown-shirted,
the voters,
swastika-wearing, hood-donning, cross-burning fascists.
No pun intended.
Fuck you.
People like you are what the Constitution are designed to stop, and it worked, and it did stop you.
So fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
We should kill these people
We're gonna
as,
have to
as a
compress
state.
that. Look at that.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry
no.
for yelling. Capital punishment needs to be implemented, in this case, for these people on a massive scale.
Whew. Well, the Brain and Moham show is for entertainment purposes only.
I hope you're entertained by that. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Am I not entertaining
Yes,
to
the
you?
views expressed on the Brain and Moham show are not to be taken seriously in any way because this is a fucking piece of art. So anyway, like I was saying before about the the election in 2024 and whatnot, I suppose that if Donald Trump were to run again, it would be kind of an unmitigated disaster.
A civil war.
Yeah.
A civil war
there's
to be
people,
fought by morons who have numbers.
There's the Republican Party is ready to immolate. It's ready to fracture on lines along the vaccine. Here's a guy who used to be a big Trump supporter. Listen to what he's saying. He's Arizona. He's some sort of politician in Arizona. Listen to this.
He's burning his Make America
Yeah,
Great
check it out.
Hey, Donald Trump, this is Daniel McCarthy in Arizona. The
Arizona.
world is waking up to your massive grift. Please stop with the smoke and mirrors with these audits. Stop with your fundraising. Stop establishment candidate endorsements. Stop pushing this gene therapy, the sauce. I hear you're coming to Florence, Arizona for another one of your do-nothing rah-rah session rallies. Well, I have an offer for you.
No masks.
I will give $1 million to the charity of your choice if you take 30 minutes of your stage time on January 15th and debate me or answer my questions even in front of your crowd. Think about all the things that you've done that you've not been held accountable for. You ushered in medical tyranny.
Not true.
You exploded our national debt.
True.
You relinquished our sovereignty with the USMCA trade deal.
Not true.
You passed more gun laws than Obama did with fixed NICS.
I'm not
You
sure
warned
about that.
election
Who
fraud,
cares?
but yet you did nothing to prevent it, even after my team, months in advance, warned
guy's
you.
a fucking
He's
moron.
wrong
Fuck
about the
this guy.
reasons he should be mad.
You gave up on therapeutics, and you push an experimental gene therapy.
He's mad
People
because
are literally
Donald Trump
dying
supports the
because they're
vaccine.
trusting you.
He talks
You
like a
enacted
fucking
the
Canadian.
lockdowns,
Fuck
and you
this guy.
surrounded yourself with swamp creatures for 4 years. The January 6th protesters that came down to the Capitol, you set them up. Those people are being treated worse than dogs now.
Are
These
they
your
now?
most loyal
So he's
supporters.
mad for the wrong reasons
Hey,
again.
Yeah.
If
You're the
I
most
say
accepted
I think Bill
president
Hicks was
in American
right
history.
about what he
Trust
should
me,
do,
there's been a lot of
do you
silence
catch my
before.
reference?
I posted
Yeah.
the terms and conditions of my...
Maybe you should refresh everyone's memory.
Okay, well, Bill Hicks has a bit where he goes out on stage and he's doing jokes and everything. And then he says, hey, anybody out there in marketing or advertising or any of those kind of jobs? And a bunch of people go, yay! And he's like, good, kill yourself. It's not a joke. I know you think it's funny. You need to fucking jump off a bridge because you're fucked and you're fucking us. You human scum, you suck Satan's cock, kill yourself.
Bill Hicks was intense.
Well, I'm just
Intense.
saying, that's what people like that need to be told to do. That's what we as a society
Can you believe there are
need
people
to say that
like this?
is not worth. I can, and my response to that is kill it with fire, like burn it to the ground.
Ignorance must be
For all you kids out
eradicated.
there, anarchy begins at home.
not through violent means, but the ignorance needs to be dealt with somewhat, forcefully, not physically forcefully, but the ignorance needs to be
at
strongly
what point-
pushed back against.
What point are we not fascists to? If we're going to say that they can't be idiots, like that's the counter argument.
Yeah, no, they can be idiots, and I'm glad that there's a world where idiots can sort of run around and do their
Idiots,
thing
lazy are
without hurting
people
others.
too.
Yeah.
Lazy are people too.
It's true. What do you think,
Kevin,
Brain?
I'm gonna build you a
got there?
house. I'm gonna call it the Devil's House. There's gonna be pillars everywhere.
What was
You're
that?
never gonna have to lift
What do
a
you
finger.
think? Well, how do you think things
For
are
it is
going
written in the
overall?
scripture
And
that a
do you
slothful
expect?
child shall eat them.
I haven't really been paying too much attention.
Isn't that great?
I feel like
It's
in-
You
wonderful.
don't have to hear about some apocalyptic thing every other
It's
day.
blissful,
In
dude.
some
Honestly,
senses,
it's serenity.
it's calm. Like it's more calm, but there's still things that are happening that are concerning.
Honestly, having done a podcast like this for over a year straight with a person who's, you know, I won't go into trashing people that I used to work for, but their nebulous political beliefs, you know, lead to eventually to a conflict wherein I'm doing this professionally. It's a job. Like, and you're going to pay me to do this job. And if you're not going to pay me to do this job, then fuck this job and fuck you. I'm sorry to hijack your show with a bunch of fucking
Brain and
liberal
Moham
Democrat.
show.
I'll sing this song with you. It's the Brain and Moham show.
It's the Brain and Moham show. Well, we'll play. You know what? We'll play your song out, and yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Check the link in the description, and we'll come out with another podcast soon. I don't know if we'll take another year off, but we'll probably have something soon. Thank you for listening.
Just so we're all on the keel. I want you to know I only play it for real. You should be bringing me up. Instead, you're trying